Hello, welcome back to Devin's Bible Study, and today we're going to be talking about the leaders that God puts into power and why we're to respect them and the law. Let's begin. So God put societies in place to make sure the human race stays in order and control, because He knows how chaotic we can be when there's anarchy. And in order for a society to keep on running, we all need to pay our fair share of taxes. So with the give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God's, we give Caesar our taxes and we give God everything else in our personal time. And one thing we need to realize is by paying our taxes, we're also giving to God so that He can keep the society running and under control. So now the question remains, well, Devin, if God puts these people in control of societies, why are there so many corrupt governments? And I'm going to answer that question right now. Now I'm going to read Romans chapter 13, verse 1 through 7, and it says, "Everyone must submit to governing authorities, for all authorities come from God, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by God. So anyone who rebels against authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and they will be punished. For the authorities do not strike fear in people who are doing right, but in those who are doing wrong. Would you like to live without fear of the authorities? Do what is right, and they will honor you. The authorities are God's servants, sent for your good. But if you are doing wrong, of course you should be afraid, for they have the power to punish you. They are God's servants, sent for the very purpose of punishing those who do what is wrong. So you must submit to them, not only to avoid punishment, but also to keep a clear conscience. Pay your taxes too, for these same reasons. For government workers need to be paid. They are serving God in what they do. Give to everyone what you owe them, and pay your taxes and give government fees to those who collect them, and give respect and honor to those who are in authority." And verse 6 through 7 goes all the way back to referring to Matthew chapter 22, where God says, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and give to God what is God's." Now, how can these systems be immoral if God puts these people in power? Let's go over that. Now, God may put these people in power, but whether they obey Him and make the society abide by His rules is up to them. It's like King Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Kings all the way through to Daniel, how God gave him victory and God led him towards the right path, but he refused to listen. He became a corrupt government. So God will judge these governments in due time for not obeying His will. Now the question remains, what if you're in a country where you're not allowed to practice your faith? Well, the best thing is to respect the law of the government that God put in order, but still practice your faith secretly. And for those who don't really have knowledge of Christ, but do know that something's out there and something's ready to forgive them, and they have faith, I am very certain that God will be merciful to them. So now we get on to the election in the United States. Some people are overjoyed that Biden won, and some people are absolutely disgusted. And the people who are disgusted are claiming fraud. But here's the thing, I'm not going to take anybody's side because I don't know who's right, and I don't really know how the American system works all that well. However, let's just pretend the system was corrupt, and that's now the leader you have in power. Well, God allowed him to come to power, and we are to respect his rules and regulations as God commanded us. So instead of being extra angry and extra violent and just fighting with each other about it, my advice is to always make the best out of the worst you have. And to be honest, I'm not sure Joe Biden's gonna be all that bad. I mean, I don't really know the guy, so I can't say for certain. But God allowed him in power, and so we're to respect his laws. And to be honest, North America's not a bad system at all. Honestly, this is a much better place to live than a lot of the rest of the world. So we have it pretty good here, regardless what kind of government we get. Well, sometimes there's exceptions, but for the most part, we get good government. Just remember to look at all the things we can be thankful for rather than what to be bitter about. So even if the new government does suck, it's up to us to make the best out of the worst we have and always be the better people and always respect the governments that God puts in place. And that's about it for Devin's Bible study. Tune in next week for more. And I'll see you next time. And don't forget to add in the comments if there's anything that you want to know about for future videos.